ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be getting into a freaking fantastic match here. It is going to be Roots Puck versus Sloth Pro's Bioice. Should be a pretty fantastic series here. It's going to be a PVCZ starting off on Blackpink. And spawning down here in the bottom left, in the red, representing Root Gaming, it is Puck. And up here in the top right, in the blue, representing Sloth Pro, it is Bioice. Super excited to see what these guys pull out for this series. Both very talented players. Sloth Pro, one of the premier NA orgs, and Root, of course, you know the name. Root for Root. Gotta. Classics such as Cats, Oh, such a good team. Fan of them for years, and now we get to see what these guys can do here. Facing off in this best of 3 match, loser goes to the loser bracket. They'll be down, but not out. So a lot on the line here. I believe the winner of this will go on to the semifinals for the top half of this bracket. And no one wants to have to make a loser's run, so lots on the line here for these guys. Puck, a staple of North American StarCraft for a while now. Never really had his knee breakout, but this could be the start. Very talented player. Taking his expansion now. Pool on the way here, and gas, of course, already taken. Nothing too crazy going on so far. Puck making his way across the map, gonna see what's going on. And actually a third hatchery being taken here as well. Have to see what Puck decides to do of facing off against that. As they are working their way around, Probe will get up here and should realize pretty quickly what's going on once he sees the lack of anything of value going on up here. And in fact already pulls back and probably assumes there's a third base here. Doesn't quite actually know yet, but he'll know pretty quickly. No Zerglings in production here, just a Queen, and Stargate is going to be the choice here for our Protoss player. And he is probably going to go Oracle, I would imagine. Might go Phoenix as well. I think either one would be a good choice here. Bioice doing a good job not spreading out his overlords too much, not really giving them too many free kills for whenever those Phoenix come, if they come. Gateway on the way. Speed finally getting started up here. And it looks like Bioice is content just to sit back and drone for right now. Not really too much he has to worry about. Should find out about this Stargate though, and will know and be prepared for that. Should know it's an Oracle. I believe that's something that they can see. So he'll know that an Oracle is on the way. We'll be able to get Spires up in time. I mean, not Spires, Spore Crawlers up in time to defend against that. And will lose. Actually gets supply blocked by that. It's a little annoying. And meanwhile, this Adept on the other side, just poking a little bit. Kill the larva, maybe. But nothing too crazy going down here. Taking his 3rd and 4th gases for Puck, and he is just gonna stand strong at the gate. Spore Crawlers on the way, and now an Evolution Chamber coming down in the back. And it's gonna be. I'm interested to see what Bioice tech of choice here is. Looks like he's saving up. Maybe gonna go for some Hydras. Hasn't started a layer, so currently just kind of stuck on Zerglings. And now here comes the Oracle. Gets 1, gets 2, and does have to back out. Not really an ideal spot there to be able to get many kills, and now these Queens will say no. And he's just going to get forced back here. 3 more gateways coming down here on the far side. And it looks like Charge is going to be the choice here, as well as the Templar Archive. So he's definitely going to be heading for this Charge Slot Archon attack here. I think he's recognized the lack of tech here and realized there's going to be a flood of Zerglings. And Zealot Archon, I mean, if there's one thing he can kill, it's some freaking Zerglings. And now he is going to be pushing up and securing his 3rd base here. And right now, the army for Bioice isn't really any tangible threat. There's no threat to the third base currently, and Puck is getting the tech that he needs to deal with any possible thing that could come out right now. Layer finally now getting started up here at the natural for Bioice, and Zergling coming in here again, just kind of confirm that third base actually did go down. The first Archons are now getting morphed in, and looks like there is some aggression going on up here from Puck. Brings the Oracle up front. I'm going to be using that for detection mostly, I'd imagine. Not going to imagine it trading too well against these queens. And now the Archons marching forward here, going to see what they can get done. 22 Zerglings are in production right now. So we'll be able to fight this off in a bit. But right now, these two Archons are marching forward here and actually gets us around there. But this Warp Prism is just going to bail them out pretty safely here. Nice micro there. Is going to be forced back a little farther by these queens. But once he gets them off creep, then that's where these Archons are going to have a field day. And more gateways getting added on here back at home, meanwhile. And this other Oracle is just sitting up here ready. Did get a Stasis Ward down. That's a little cheeky. Just locking him out of mining for a bit. And now Zealots here almost have charge, and they will be able to trade even more effectively against this army. Hydralisk Den only now just getting started, and there are still only Zerglings and Queens to defend against this. And that one Archon gets a little low, but he does save it. Very nice work there. The Zealot's getting left to die. Poor fellas. And the Queen's actually walking forward, forcing this Warp Prism away. Almost gets it. Well done by Puck there, keeping that alive. And we'll get another Warp in of Archons over here. Just keeping up the aggression. Meanwhile, up here, another Stasis Ward goes down and traps 5. Not quite fast enough for Bioice here. And this flood of Zerglings here comes across to the third base and is going to start wreaking havoc. This Shield Battery going to keep these Adepts alive. And the Recall actually going to force these Zerglings back and save that base. Meanwhile, the Oracle makes his way back across from the front half of the map. And now things are going to go back to normal for a little bit here. +1 on the way for these guys, as well as Hydralisk upgrades, and +2 for the Zerglings. And Immortal production is now starting up here. Some storms. I would like to see some storms here from Puck. Would be of great help in dealing with those Zerglings and the Hydras. And Lurker Den is now getting morphed as well. It looks like he is going to decide to get Storm here. Lurker Den going to be pretty powerful against this army. You know, not too many. Really, it's just the Archons for range down here. Just trading with these Zealots, just getting danced around here. Zerglings up here, just kind of moving around, making sure they stay safe. 2 Immortals out now, and it looks like saving up some energy for some storms over there. Got another base cannon taken here. A Lurker Den's almost done. Got the range upgrade for the Hydralisk getting researched right now. Without that, I mean, why even get them? And another Robo facility getting added on here. And now Puck is just going to be trying to secure some vision across the map here. They both want to know when the other one moves out, of course. Storm almost finishing up here, as well as +1 attack. Puck should realize that he's behind on upgrades here, and you know, has a bit of a window where he needs to catch up right now. +2 melee upgrades for the Zerg are almost done now. Now the Zerglings get a full surround on the space and do cancel it. Very well done there. Gets him a little bit of advantage here in this game, as his 4th is already up. And there's a lot of Zerglings here. 56 here for our Zerg player. And not really too many Zealots of there to speak of. There's 6 total. And then other than that, it's just Archon Immortal with some a few High Templars for Storm. Now these 4 Zealots here are going to do their best to trade. But these Zerglings don't care. They're just going to march straight for where this base is being built. And they're going to force the cancel on this too. Bioice doing a very good job of attacking on multiple fronts here. And just keeping these bases from getting established here for Puck. Very annoying work and very well done. And you know, not even losing that many Zerglings. You know, he went from 56 to 21, but now that frees up more supply to get even more stuff. Now he's getting some Dropper Lords up here, loading up some Banelings, as well as down here. Puck does see this happening, though. Doesn't know what's happening up on the top side of the map. And so this one will be moving in. Probably looking to drop on the 3rd base. Might get spotted here by the 4th. Looks like not quite. Zergling down here, Zealot down here, trading his life. And now the army of Puck is moving down, but here comes the drop here for Bioice. It's coming in. Oh, already pulled away here. Might get caught in that choke. Not quite. All right, so the drop for Bioice will continue on to the natural. Looks like it's not ready quite yet. And then meanwhile, on the top side of the map, lots of Zealots getting warped in the main. tons of action going on here, but it looks like that did get cleaned up by Bioice pretty handily there. And now these banelings, oh, do get 4. Alrighty, well done there. He'll take it. Better than a kick in the teeth. And now this army is moving up, pushing forward here. And we'll see what they're able to get done. Meanwhile, Bioice is positioning up towards the top side of this map. And the Zerglings are moving in on the top side of this map, forcing this 4th base. We'll probably get to cancel on it unless he recalls, which he does, just to defend that base. And will force these Zerglings back, saving the base. And meanwhile, in the main, these Zealots continue to wreak havoc. Bioice getting picked apart in the main base. So many workers getting lost there. And so many lost mining time as well. You know, workers still in favor for him, but he's continuing to lose some to this Oracle over here. Currently sitting at 5 kills, 5 more than should ever get. 6, and it lives. Very well played there by Puck, and Puck is doing a great job of answering back here. Forcing Bioice to just continuously move his army back and forth across this map, not really able to apply any pressure. Lots of cannons getting built here. I think he does not want to have to recall for that again. Oh, these Immortals getting caught out though. That's a pretty expensive investment, but they do get saved by the army. And now these Zerglings down here do clean up this base and are cleaning up these pylons. And in the main, actually, the Banelings get a nice drop in. Kill 4 or 5 workers there. Not too shabby. He'll take it. And cancels this base down here. Well done for Puck. And now back up at the top side of the map. Bioice moving in. But these cannons are finishing up, so should get cleaned up pretty quickly here. And storming himself to take out the swarm with him. Zerglings down here positioning. Going to try and push up here. Meanwhile, Puck is moving on to creep now, and he is forcing his way through this base. Towards the base, I should say. Zerglings being the annoyance back up here at the front. And now Puck making his way towards these lurkers. There's so many lurkers here. It's a very tough fight to take here for Puck. Has to be very careful and really has to force him to respond to multiple fronts. It's almost impossible to push that straight on unless he has disruptors or some way to lift him up, because those High Templar will walk forward to storm and they'll just get cleaned up. And now Broodlords are on the way here for Bioice. And Puck almost catches his army out, actually, and does actually have better positioning on the 4th base here. The Broodlords are out and are forcing this army back. Nice storms there, getting some pretty decent damage down, but the High Templar do get cleaned up, and now this army is on the run. Broodlord's doing a lot of work here, keeping this army nice and low. And then up here on the top, the Oracle gets cleaned up, and this army does escape safely, but it's still not an army that you want whenever you're trying to engage against these lurkers head on. Definitely going to have to keep these Warp Prisms alive and force fights on multiple fronts here. Zerglings moving up here will get to cancel this base. Perfect timing. And now, meanwhile, on the front side, they are moving in. Got some Zealots going in over here, killing some Queens. Actually, we might get all 4 of them. Yeah, we'll get all 4 here, but then meanwhile over here, the Broodlord's forcing this army back, and Puck has no choice but just to retreat. Can't really fight once those get set up. And now the Zealots over here continue to do work. The Warp Prism up here does get caught out and will die. These Zealots over here, meanwhile, though, getting lots of kills. And the army for Puck is continuing to dance around. Is just going to march across the map here. Bioice has arrived at the 3rd base, but there's not really much here to take. He's going to kill the workers. All these workers will die, and the base will die as well. But Puck is looking like he's just going to march across the map and go for a base trade. Catches some Zerglings trying to go across the map here, which is good for him. And Puck is now moving his way up here. Going to be going for be on top of these production facilities pretty soon here. And is pushing up towards the natural. Meanwhile, Bioice doing the same thing on the other side of the map. We are in a full base trade scenario right here. Puck can recall if he chooses, whereas Bioice does not have that luxury. And Bioice is now finishing off the natural. Lots of workers going down here. 31 to 61 now. Workers on the run for Bioice here. He realizes the situation he's in. And all of this stuff's going to go down. The infestation pit's going to die, and now he's going to march up into the main. And all these armies are just going to continue just destroying all of these production facilities. That upgrade is never going to finish. +3 attack. Lots of storms here. Might be able to get a little bit of work done, but it looks like the Broodlords are just going to brutalize them. And now the drones have arrived here. Some Zealot spot where the drones have gone. So he knows they're over there, and this 5th base is still going for Puck here. But it's down to 1 mining base for each of these guys, and Bioice only has his main here. He does have a 2,500 bank here, so he will be able to build some more structures. But as of right now, looks like a pretty dire. Looks like he's just going to switch mains here with Puck, and Puck, it seems completely okay with that. It's just going to march forward here and finish killing the main base. And now this game gets crazy. We have a 96 army supply Bioice against 121 here for Puck. Puck is still mining off a full base here. Doesn't quite have it saturated because he is moving those probes across the map to keep him alive. But both these guys getting a pretty sizable bank here. No production really for either side. The hatchery's still not done here for Bioice, so those workers are just kind of sitting there right now. And Puck is just going to try and move his way across the map and just kind of take down these buildings one by one, I guess. The Broodlords are going to start moving towards this main base, so if he can catch the Lurkers out, or catch the Broodlords without the Lurkers, then there'll be a huge blow to Bioice, and that's what Puck is going to be trying to look for here. Until then, though, it's just going to be a kind of awkward little dance. Puck has the main majority of his army in the middle here. Might be able to catch these Zerglings, which would be helpful. But now the Broodlords have started sieging the top side here. Nice storm there, tickling him a little bit. And Puck has decided to just go towards the bottom side of the map to stop these Zerglings, and it's just kind of abandoning his base. I don't know that I completely agree with that. I think he might have been able to hold it, but it is a very challenging hold. But if he could catch these Broodlords, then it would be a very big victory for him. Has to get underneath them, but I don't know that he has enough units to shoot up. He has 5 Archons and 8 Stalkers, which might not be enough. The Broodlords might have such a critical mass here they'll be able to out-trade. And this whole base gets cleaned up now. 2 bases down here in the bottom right for Puck, is all that remains. And now he's trying to catch these Broodlords and does get underneath them, starts focus firing them in good storms here, killing so many actually. All of them are going to go down here. The Lurkers do get set up, but the storms are going to be right on top of them, and the Immortals are able to get on top of them as well. Only 3 Broodlords remaining, and all these Lurkers are getting killed. Oh my god, it's a slaughter. And they are pushing forward, finishing off the job. He says, not today, Broodlord. You get slain. And now he pushes forward. Only Corruptors left here. 91 outside of 22. Puck takes it with a decisive blow there. Very well played. That game was hanging on a knife's edge, and Puck was able just to seal the deal, go straight for the throat, and finish it off right when he needed to. Very well done. Man, that was such a close game. Very close. Could have gone either way. And really, until that last point, he just left the Broodlords a little bit too unprotected there, and the Lurkers a little bit too clumped, and it ended up costing him. Alright, so we're just going to get into game number 2 here ASAP, and we'll be right back. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like the stream, make sure to give it a follow. Thanks, guys. Alrighty. Alrighty, going to be hopping into game number 2 here. It is going to be Puck versus Bioice. Puck taking game number 1 there, doing a very nice job focusing down those Broodlords. Found the slight opening there. Slight little bit of a misplay there from Bioice, which cost him the game in a very close set. And so now, once I stop screwing up the scores here, and my microphone stops being a piece of crap, in the bottom left, spawning in the red trunks, representing Root, it is Puck. And then down here in the top right, or up here I should say, it's going to be in the blue, representing Sloth Esports, looking to come back from the brink of death here, it is Bioice. Bioice was in a very strong position that pretty much the entirety of the mid to late game there. He just had a few botched, just the one botched engagement really was what ended up costing him. He had the superior army straight up, and then he had the And like he had better positioning most of the time. Just Puck did a great job pulling him apart from multiple sides there. And you know, I think Bioice got a little bit too focused on defending the inside there, and there's just left those Broodlords a little bit undefended. So now, gonna see what they decide to pull out this game. Looks like Puck just hanging around here, seeing what's going on, sniffing what he can sniff. Overlord making his way across the map. Nothing too crazy. And it looks like Drone Scout gonna head out here, possibly taking a third. Oh yeah, looks like he might be heading up to take this gold base. That'd be pretty interesting. Curious to see if Puck's able to punish it. Last time, Bioice did take 3 hatcheries with only a spawning pool and really didn't get punished nearly as hard as I think he could have. Was able to kind of survive with it, and then got to the point where he was able to match Puck's army, and then just came down to positioning. Now, Cybernetic score coming down here for Puck. Seems like he is very comfortable with that Zealot Archon style. Curious to see if he pulls it out again here. Chronoing out that Adept. But there, just like last game, there's no Zerglings that are going to be coming across the map. Not even the usual 4. And Puck doesn't quite know if this is there yet, but he should know pretty soon. Once he gathers there's no Zerglings coming out, he should kind of realize what's going on. Stargate now coming down for Puck once again. And looks like Puck says, "Listen, I beat you playing my way, and I kind of let you do your own thing. I can do it again. Show me what you got." And now it's on Bioice to respond. Looks like he is getting some Zerglings now, as well as getting that second or third queen. Yeah, second queen. Stalker on the way as well. And the Adept is just going to kind of poke in here. And Puck still has no idea that this gold base is here. Should start to gather something's going on here pretty quickly, but as of right now, doesn't know, at least officially. This Stalker here will catch this Overlord, or not. Yeah, we'll catch it. Should kill it before it gets there. Lots of drones in production here for our Zerg player. And the Oracle is about to come out. Needs to be careful about where it rallies here so it doesn't fly straight into this Overlord. Oh, it's so close. Okay, Overlord does die. And now Oracle heading his way across the map. And meanwhile, on the defense here, Spore Crawlers are being built here and here. There is not one, notably, at the gold base, but Puck still has no idea that gold base even exists. Should know, this Oracle should fly over the third base position here, and he will at that point know what's up for sure, if he didn't already. Zerglings, meanwhile, on the other side coming across here, going to be just kind of making sure there's no third base going on. This Oracle does get pressed off, did get one drone there, and is getting forced back here. So not really too much getting done there for that. And the Zerglings now coming to the front. Stalker and the Adept more than enough to keep that at bay. And looks like this is a full wall here for Puck. Just keeping nice and safe. Does cancel that. Of course, keeps everything nice and tidy. Charge now getting started up here, as well as a Warp Prism. More gateways getting added on here. Looks like he's going to go into a pretty standard charge lot pressure here. And then, of course, getting that Templar Archives just like last game. Puck really just knows the style well, and looks like he's just going to stick with it and see what Bioice can do to respond. Bioice still not really getting any much tech here. He's getting +1 melee upgrade just like last time. He's getting a Baneling Nest this time, notably, which is whereas last time he waited until he got Hydras. So the Banelings will be able to deal with those Zealots very effectively if they can get the splash right. But those Archons do a very good job of taking stuff down. It's like some observer is a fan of that Zergling there. He is a very handsome boy, I must admit. And now the one Zergling there is going to get cleaned up. Does cancel the pylon. It's a little annoying, but nothing too major. And now more Zerglings actually coming together here to try and come pressure this third base very hard. And there's only the 2 Adepts here, and that's it. I think he will be able to force a cancel on this. Not nearly enough here to hold this, unless he recalls. It runs up, and he's warping in some more to try and save it. Is forced to still cancel it, though. Oh, and the slow warp in, though. The Zealots are just going to get butchered. And now these Archons over here trying to do a little bit, but those Queens are going to make that difficult. And now over here, the pylon's getting taken out. Charge is done, but these Zealots are trading and will actually win the fight with the Oracle's help. They will trade their own lives for it, though. And they'll only even get close, not even getting the outright victory. What a sad life those Zealots live. And now more Zerglings coming across the map now. The Archon here is actually using all the warpins right over there to make a third Archon there. And these Zealots have arrived. These Zerglings have arrived to fight these Zealots, and it's not going to be enough. Once again, the Oracle is doing all it can to assist in the hold here, and now finally has to force in another Zealot warp in, and actually forces the cancel, but doesn't quite get it. Losing 400 there, that's not great for Puck. Very nice work by Bioice, continuing to put on that pressure, but the Zerglings are going to run straight into these three Archons. Oh, brutal. Not quite as bad as it could have been. I over-exaggerated that one. But now this army looks very scary here. Lingbane Hydra with centrifugal hooks almost done, as well as getting some upgrades for his Hydralisks. On 4 bases right now. Not quite getting that 4th one saturated just yet. And now Puck is going to apply some pressure here, but these Banelings are going to get pretty decent hits, actually. Taking down 2 of those Archons already. There's still 3 Archons here on the back, and now they're getting on top of these Hydralisks. And the Queens are going to start losing life here, but the Zealots did get shredded out. There's just not enough tank here to keep these Archons alive. You will be forced to draw back. And the Hydras are giving chase off creep. They should be able to outrun them. Zealots getting a little antsy there. Storm is on the way. Some High Templars being built as well. And it looks like Puck's just going to get another warp in here. Can't quite afford a full warp in, but we'll be able to warp in enough, I think, plenty to hold this off. Army supply is currently 56 to 43. We'll have quite a little bit of a lead here for Bioice. And actually, if he can stop these Banelings from morphing, then that'll be a pretty good advantage for him. Force them back into his Zerglings, but now these Zealots are just going to get overrun here, and the Archons just aren't quite enough. And now this is where it starts to get sketchy here for Puck. His army supply is now even, but these Banelings can get very good hits, but the nice stasis ward there does stop those Zerglings from doing any more. Now they're on top of the Hydralisks. Very nice Warp Prism Micro as well, keeping these Archons alive, even when they're at very low shield. And it wasn't quite enough to finish killing all the Hydralisks, but it did a very good amount of damage there. Resources lost here about even, but the army supply is continuing to rise for Bioice here, and Puck just doesn't have the income to deal with it. He is currently only at a 200 mineral bank, and he is almost 40 army supply down right now. And if once Bioice kind of consolidates his forces, it'll be a pretty brutal push here. More High Templar being morphed in here. Storm is ready. So Puck, oh, very nice Storm there, actually hitting a lot of these Hydralisks and killing a bunch of them. But there's just still not enough tank at the front. The Zealots are not staying alive for long enough, and the Hydralisks now are able just to walk up with imprudence and kill whatever they want. There's just not quite enough here to hold on against this, and it looks like Bioice will be taking this game. Pushing forward now, the Workers giving their all to fight to the last man. These Archons are getting microed pretty well. They will eventually fall, though. And now Puck's trying to think about what he can do for the next game. You know, he played that pretty well. Just he got picked apart by that third base push. Just wasn't able to get that up, and his economy never recovered. So, just very well done there by Bioice, kind of doing the same thing that Puck was doing to him, just pushing on multiple fronts, forcing him to take losses, or in this instance, cancel the base repeatedly. And so yeah, that's going to be game number 2. We'll be going into game number 3 here in just a second. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll be right back. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, going to be getting into game number 3 here of Puck versus Bioice. Spawning down here in the red, representing Root Gaming. Currently looking to finish off this series, it is Puck. And then up here in the top left in the blue, representing Sloth Pro Esports, it is Bioice. Of course, I would forget to switch the scenes. Bioice up here in the top left, and Puck down here in the bottom right, just to show you I'm not lying. Sorry about that. Alright. So, expansion coming down here for Bioice, you know, hatch first. Nothing we haven't seen before. And then gas and gateway and gas here for Puck. Probably going to be following up the expansion. Nothing too crazy from either of these guys. Neither of them wanting to, you know, cheese the other. You know, lots of risk, lots of stuff at risk here. Sea of Thieves after. Gotta get their Sea of Thieves on. See these two sailing up on you. You gotta be scared. You really screwed up. Good to see that everyone is maintaining being friends here. And Puck just kind of hanging around here. Some observer feels the need to ping because, yeah, alright, we get it. His base is here. Thank you. And this expansion getting taken here. Andy, man. Third base getting taken up here. And looks like the same build. You know, pretty safe. Nothing, barring Puck going some sort of 1 base 4 gate, there's not really any way to punish this. Stargate on the way once again. Pretty much you can copy and paste the first like, probably like 3 or 4 minutes from each of these games, and it would be exactly the same. Both these guys know how they want to play. They know how the other likes to play. And it's all a matter of, comes down to execution at the end. Metabolic boost getting started up here. 2 queens as well. This adept is going to kind of walk up here, see what he can see. And we'll spot the third this time. And Stargate finishing up here. Probably going to be an Oracle coming out. Yeah, he's going to get started up there as well as getting his gateway going. His warp gate, I should say. 2 adepts here at the front. Just going to poke a little bit at this queen. Make him think twice about walking out off creep. They're not going to commit. Wise decision there. And soccer coming out, just some probes. Nothing really going on right now. Overlord gonna see everything in the base, knows that Stargate's coming. Not really surprised at this point. And the Overlord over the front of the base is gonna get killed. This Oracle gonna fly in here. 2 queens ready to rough him up. Spores already in the natural and the main. So this Oracle is once again not really going to do too much except just get some information out on the map, which is, you know, very important. Oracle moving up here. Gonna maybe get one. Not quite. That's unfortunate. And these 2 queens, oh, putting on a beating. Almost taking him down there. 16 health. Wow. Robo facility finishing up, as well as charge on the way, and 5 gateways getting added on right now. Puck is planning on putting on some pretty serious aggression right here. I'd imagine a warp prism coming out of here in just a second. He's already getting that Templar Archives as well. He's going to be ready to hit probably like a 6-minute timing attack, I'd say. Assuming he doesn't take a third, which looks like he is going to move to secure right now. If he did decide to ramp up like right about now, skip the third and just go all in, he would have a pretty big army advantage right now. Layers only just not getting taken. There's no Baneling nest this time. Of course, he doesn't know that. So he is just going to do the safer thing here, secure his third base, and then now start ramping up to put on some pressure so that way he can catch up with this Zerg. Warp Prism making his way across here. Gonna warp in some Archons. Gonna do some more Archon pressure like he's been liking to do. Very impressive micro from him. And a Baneling nest is getting taken now after layer is done, or as layer is getting finished up. Archons making their way up here. 2 Zealots here to escort them. And here comes the response here from Bioice now. Zerglings coming across. 22 more in production as well. It's going to get dangerous pretty quickly here for this Protoss army. And more Zealots getting warped in here to try and respond. But 24 more are popping right now, and the Banelings are now starting to get morphed. There's a slight window here where he can cancel these Banelings, but the surround is going to be pretty huge here for these Zerglings. That's more and more pop out as well. Puck is doing all he can to macro and trade as efficiently as possible. And he is actually keeping the army supply very even. He does keep the Warp Prism and the 2 Archons alive, which is the most important part there. 4th base is getting secured now for Bioice as well behind this. And these Zerglings are making their way across the map, going to be looking to go for the jugular over here on this 3rd base, which is up and running now. Archon's going to get morphed in here, but it's going to be a little bit too late. The Zerglings are going to arrive just before. He needs to merge him now. Okay, does keep him alive for a bit. And now, but they are out of range of the shield battery, and they could get focused down beforehand. They wouldn't even finish morphing for the one. Second one will finally get to finish here, and will keep this base alive. Archon making his way down here all by his lonesome, trying not to get caught out by these Zerglings. And now the Lingbane force here is staying nice and still. Storm on the way, as well as a Hydralisk in here for our Zerg player. Getting a forward so he can start getting some upgrades, and +2 melee attack is on the way. 4th base up and running. And get another shield battery over here, just trying to make sure that those run-bys cannot do what they did the last game, continuously canceling that 3rd base. And now, centrifugal hooks on the way, getting some Hydra speed. Life is looking pretty good here for Bioice. He's feeling pretty comfortable. These 2 adepts doing a little bit of poking here. And will get surrounded, might actually die. Lots of damage coming up for the Zerglings. +1 Zerglings, pack a wallop. And lots of Hydralisk on the way now. And so now we're gonna see pretty much the same army comp that we did last time, or in game number 1, excuse me, of Lurker Hydra Lingbane against this Zealot Archon Immortal Force. The Storms should be pretty powerful at stopping this army, especially if we can get them on top of the Banelings and the Hydralisks. That's a lot of gas invested, and that's a lot of units killed there. This Oracle here just cleaning up some Zerglings. And down here, he's going to start securing his 4th base. But now Bioice is on the move. He knows that the timing of this, and he is on his way. The army of Puck is moving to defend now, but he's outnumbered by 40 army supply right now. It is mostly Zerglings here, but he could get on top of these High Templar and force out these Storms, which is not what you want if you're Puck. And looks like Bioice is just going to go ahead and back off. Meanwhile, up here, warping in some Zealots to kind of trade out. And is just trading and keeps them alive. Just going to keep a little bit of harassment potential back at home. And now these Dropper Lord comes in and actually, oh man, that was rough. Gets 11 or 12 there. Not what you want if you're Puck. And then meanwhile at the front, they're trying to break down this wall, knocking at Heaven's door. But will not quite get it. And then meanwhile another Dropper Lord coming in here at the 4th. And it looks like these Stasis ones will attempt to go trade their lives over there. Meanwhile, Bioice attacking on multiple fronts here. Archon's getting pulled back, and this Dropper Lord continues to move forward here. Zerglings over here getting cleaned up, and meanwhile, there's no aggression on the other side of the map from Puck right now. More and more Zerglings on the way, and +2 is still not on the way here. +2 is already done for melee for our Zerg player. Oh, man, that was rough. Yeah, that's not what you want if you're Puck. Oh, lots of work is going down there. He's now like almost 10 down. And meanwhile, this Hydralisk force has arrived, and tons of Banelings getting warped in here. No force fields are going to be available. Stasis wards are getting made here. The Stasis wards are good. It could turn the tide of this battle. But now these High Templar are getting caught out here. They're going to have to storm on top of themselves just to use up the energy. And that's a huge pick off there. Now the Banelings rolling in, killing off these Archons here in just a second. And these Zealots warping in, but immediately getting popped. Oh, this is not good for Puck. Puck is on the ropes. And these Banelings are continuing to roll in, going for the mineral line. And the Hydralisks are trading very well now. They're starting to kill off these Archons. But it will get forced back. Armor supply is still almost double here for Bioice. And Puck is now pushing them back. But he has to be careful about these reinforcements. Looks like he didn't quite respect it. And he's just getting some nice Warp Prism Micro here, keeping them all alive. And he's training very well actually with this army, but the rest of Puck's army, of Bioice's army, still isn't all consolidated. And so now Puck has to do something. He has to get some aggression on. He has to kill some mineral lines. He needs to keep Bioice from pushing right now. You know, being 37 army supply down. You know, if he gets good storms, that won't matter. But that's going to be a real struggle against this composition and with how well Bioice is positioning his armies. Some Zerglings over here. You got some Zerglings over here. You got his main force in the middle of the map starting to get lurkers now. It's going to make things even harder for Puck to engage on. And now the game kind of stabilizes for a second here. Some more Dropper Lord action going to get going here. This Oracle goes across, and it's going to get immediately killed by these Hydras, or not. We'll sneak on by, but not really going to do much. Just going to go ahead and reveal those. Let them know what's there. Now this Dropper Lord comes in, and will be going straight for this mineral line, but the Archon is responding. Starting to work at it. 3 more hits. 2, 1. Alright, good job there. Meanwhile, up at the top, Zealot's warping in here, going to go down ahead and take off this Queen. And now they're working on the drones here, going to get right on top of them and take them out. Meanwhile, this Hydra Lurker army is going to come up and clean this up. Meanwhile, down here in the bottom, another drop comes through, keeping the workers count down here for Puck, but it looks like he did a decent job of defending that. And now Bioice is on the move once again, making his way out across this map. Only 12 army supply up now, and with those storms are good, then it's almost even. Aspire is now on the way. Looks like he might be going for going once again for those Brood Lords, which worked so well for him before. These Banelings rolling down here. Curious to see what they're gonna do. These Zerglings over here are gonna start pressuring this 4th base. Sounds like a Stasis War got triggered right there. Only catching 2, nothing too crazy. Meanwhile, up here, we do have this Warp Prism just chilling, ready to make a counter engagement here. And now these Zerglings over here, drawing the attention of this main force, while these Banelings over here are rolling over, might be heading for this 3rd base mineral line, trying to draw this army out of position, but Puck does spot it, and is moving to intercept, and does have to roll back. Well done there from Puck, making sure he keeps the map vision he needs to defend against that. Dark Shrine is now finished, 11 more Lurkers getting morphed in here, and the Greater Spire is now on the way. Spire. And now a warping of, it looks like Zealots up here in the top right, and as well as +3 attack on the way. No armor upgrades here for our Protoss player, and the Dark Templar is actually doing some work up here. There's no detection to defend against that. 2 overseers being morphed in now, and is going to try and work on this since the Dark Templar doesn't quite get the memo. And actually still no detection up there, so he could just stay in to finish that, but does finally finish up. That Warp Prism is still alive up there, and we'll be looking to warp in another round of Zealots right now. As we watch this fight here, these Archons are not going to be able to push into that in that current state. Very nice concave set up there. Meanwhile, up here in the top, the Zealots are going to kill the base. That's huge. Really helps Puck open up this map. Stop him from getting production up there. You know, he's trying to get some Spine Callers there to defend it. They're just not ready quite fast enough. We got 2 more robotics facilities on the way here. Looks like he's just going to be trying to pump out Immortals right now and try and match it, as well as the Mothership on the way. Will help with that recall ability, and as well as the Cloak, and also it's a fucking Mothership. Oh man, that's not good. Lots of work is going down there. This looks like 7 or 8. Our worker count now dropping below 60 here for our Protoss player. Not where you want to be at 14 and a half minutes in the game here. And now Puck's army is sitting about in the middle of the map here. These Zerglings are undetected right now, I believe. Oh no, he does see them. Just hasn't quite moved any army over there to intercept. And now the Stalkers are going to start taking issue to this. Broodlords are now on the field. And this is where last game the game blew open. They decided to switch, or in the first game I should say, they decided to switch sides of the map. They were trading, and now we got lots of Stargates on the way, Mothership on the way as well. Looks like he might be going for some Phoenix to try and get air superiority, or maybe Void Rays. Could also, of course, go for those carriers. Looks like it will be Void Rays to deal with those Corruptors and so subsequently the Brood Lords. And now, oh, that Immortal is going to get caught there. Will die a horrible death, getting swarmed by dozens of Zerglings. And the Mothership currently is just chilling at home. He's trying not to reveal his hand just yet, as these Zerglings make their way back home. Adrenal Glands now on the way as well. +3 melee attack on the way. These Zealots going to try and make a run by here, but these Zerglings are already in position. Not really going to get too much done here. Maybe kill one. Yeah, no, maybe kill a Zergling, that is. Mothership still sitting at home here. Not moving out with his army. Looks like Puck knows that he needs to wait for a bit. Getting some carriers out now. Golden Armada is on the way, and he's actually surpassed Bioice in army supply during this time. Bioice is currently just might have overdroned a little bit here, but is currently trading out these Zerglings to compensate for that. Getting some more Brood Lords. Meanwhile, these Banelings are going to try and roll down here into this base. Pretty good SimCity here, though. I don't expect this to really get too much done. It's coming down here. It's gonna give it a shot. Yeah, no, not gonna get really anything else done there. And now we got some Zerglings heading across here. Just gonna try and poke around. He's just trying to trade out these units because there's not really much these Zerglings are gonna do except for just being a little bit of a harassment tool here. Some more Corruptors on the way as this Golden Armada still continues to be made. Carriers and Void Rays are gonna be the tech of choice for this Protoss late game. And now we got lots of Hydras moving down here. And we have the Lurkers. They're all moving down here to pressure this base. They all do get revealed by that Oracle, which is huge. They won't be able to burrow and be safe from the auto attacks without, like... And, oh, now the Observer's getting targeted down. The Overseers, I should say. And now, moving forward here, the Mothership has arrived. Trying to kill that detection. And these Hydras on the right side actually getting cleaned up here. The Brood Lords are now raining terror down. And the Void Rays and the Carriers still aren't here yet. Alright, they are there on the backside. Not quite getting on top of these Brood Lords just yet. I'm not really sure why. Yeah, I feel like the Void Rays definitely could be dealing with that. The Brood Lords here are going to go ahead and overwhelm this base as the Lurkers move up. Six more on the way now of these Corruptors, and the +1. 3 carriers in production now. And now Puck is on the ropes here a little bit. Has to be very careful with how he takes these engagements. Those Lurkers are going to do so much splash damage right on top of the Zealots and the Archons. Storms are going to have to be very good here. They are revealed, which does help. And the Storms are beautiful right on top of those. And on top of the Brood Lords as well. Shredding them down bit by bit. They are so tanky. But are eventually going to clean them up here. And 3 more carriers, once they pop out as well, will help. The Mothership will go down here. And the Golden Armada is forced back. And it's just not quite enough here just yet. Once these Warp End finishes, he might be able to hold. He shouldn't lose here, especially once these carriers get out. But currently, he is on the ropes and is having to back off and kind of cede part of his base to these Brood Lords. Puck needs to secure air superiority here, but there's 25 Corruptors in production. I think Bioice has realized the situation of this game and is currently killing the Cybernetics core. So it is going to be only Zealots to warp in to defend against this, except for the Stargate units here. And now here comes the engagement. The more carriers are on the way from the right side, and they will, I think, be able to clean up this army. If he loses all of these Brood Lords, it will be a pretty devastating loss. He doesn't quite have the bank to replace all of these. The rest of Corruptors are arriving now, and the carriers just need to focus down the Corruptors, and he should be in a pretty decent spot here. But the Corruptors are going to come in and start focusing down. The upgrades are pretty good for them. And more and more carriers are dying here. 80 armor supply to 48. And the Corruptors are moving forward here. Taking a look at the units tab. We only got 2 carriers, a Stalker and a Zealot here, and a few High Templar. It's just not going to quite be enough. 86 armor supply to 47. Most of it is in Corruptors though, so if he's able to get the Cybernetics core finished again, or some Archons, he might be able to clean this up. Currently taking a leak on top of his Nexus there. Actually, does end up killing it with that. That's pretty funny. And now the Archon is going kind of nuts here. Kills 2, maybe 3, almost. Does end up getting it. And now, now the game gets a little awkward while these air superiority is here, but there's no no air army to kill, and can't afford more blue lords. He's deciding to just get more zerglings instead, and he's going to start funneling them across the map. Meanwhile, these zerglings over here getting cleaned up by the one carrier remaining currently. More carriers getting produced here, and these corruptors are going to come down and take a leak on this nexus as well. And Puck still doesn't really have the army to deal with this. Storm is actually doing a lot of work against those. Wow. A few more of those, and he might be able to win here, but then the Zerglings running in here to the natural. Going to start killing a lot of workers here. 50 and dropping here for Puck. And the Zerglings continuing to do a lot of good work here, and the carriers are doing tons, shredding up all of these Zerglings here, but the Corruptors have arrived, and these carriers do not stand a chance against that. Now the Zealots will arrive here, and they will be able to clean up these Zerglings and make them run for their lives. The carriers really have no place in this comp for Puck anymore. He's just not able to keep them alive. And the income for Puck is so abysmal right now. 38 workers to 74. And we get 447 a second. Or a minute, rather. It's not what you want. And he had to cancel that base as well. The Corruptors here still continue to be a nuisance, and even killing this other carrier here. Catching it out on the backside, and these Zerglings moving in now. This is just an overwhelming force. Just going to get to complete surround. Attack. GG. Bioice takes the series 2-1 over Puck. Very well played there. Very, very great series there. Really excellent job of making sure he outpositioned Puck, got the surrounds, got the engagements that he needed, and didn't allow Puck to take what he wanted. Very well done there. And Bioice will move on to the next round of this series. Or the tournament, I should say. And Puck will be down into the loser's bracket. Thank you all so much for watching. Appreciate the support, guys. If you like what you see, feel free to follow the stream. If you don't like what you see, feel free to let me know in the chat. We'll be right back with the next set. Thanks, guys.